Hey everyone, it's Monday the 13th of January and it's now, hang on, 10 past 6 in the evening. Now today's video, I have got some diecast to take a look at, but before we get into that, I wanted to talk more about the Aprilia Habana moped of mine that broke down last Thursday, because that just seems to be my luck. Don't know if it's anything I did, I don't know if it was just one of them things, you know. Anyway, so last Thursday when I went to well actually the last time I rode it, it did a couple of times on the trip home sort of behaved like there was a fuel issue. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, like a bit of a sort of thing, you know. Like it just suddenly lost a little bit of fuel or something. But as soon as I opened up the throttle, it was fine. So I didn't think much of it, and I had to stop at a couple of places on my way home. So I had to shut the engine off, and it started up perfectly fine. In fact, it didn't do it after that. So I just didn't think much of it. Just parked it up out front where it normally parks, and left it until I needed it last Thursday, you know, and I pressed the start button like you normally do, and it just did one rotation and locked or stopped, you know, just basically a dunk, best way I can describe it, you know, just down, up, stop. It did that a few times, you know, when I was pressing the button on and off. Then it turned over properly, so I thought, oh, maybe it's just a dead battery, you know, maybe the battery didn't have enough oomph in it to turn the motor. So, you know, I turned the bike over for a few seconds, as it normally does. Sounded perfectly fine, I might add. No knocking or banging or clanging that shouldn't have been there. Didn't even try to fire, so which has been like that before. It doesn't like the cold anyway. In the past I've always had to give it a couple of twists on the throttle. So let off the button, you know, just to give the motor and whatnot a rest. Went to start it again, and it's never done it since. It's always, well, what it will do, you'll press the start button, it'll do its down, up, you know, the one rotation, stop, a handful of times, literally only like 4 or 5 times, and then it just won't move at all. It's just like it's got totally seized. It just do not want to move. And this is the same with the kickstart. I tried using the kickstart, exactly the same, but I can with the kickstart work it over that hill, if you like, to get it to come back down and free off, which is really weird. It's a really weird issue. Now, of course, I've posted to a couple of places online. There's a motorcycle chat channel on Laurie's Mechanical Marvels Discord server that I posted in, as well as the EABT Facebook group. You know, I described it as best I could, and of course, you know, I did get a bit of a mix in replies, but I never expect to get an actual, you know, definitive, that's your problem, because it's a bit hard to do without actually, in my opinion at least, without actually physically seeing the vehicle to be able to investigate and diagnose properly. You know, people can only go by what I've said and what I've described. But to me, at least, it gives you a few things to actually check, you know, and to take a look at. So there's one guy that said, you know, he's had like 60, I think he said 65 years experience with engines. He said it either sounds like there's liquid on the top of the piston, that's causing it to get stuck at the top there. I think he said it may have jumped timing. I've had a couple of people actually say that to me. It may have jumped. I've actually had to think about 3 people in total say it may have jumped timing. And at least one person, which is actually my mum's neighbour, said that it is possible that the exhaust valve isn't opening. Because obviously if it isn't opening, it's not going to release anything that's in the cylinder, is it? So you then got to wonder, if it is that, then why is it not opening? He said it's, and I've seen this on various YouTube videos as well, with all sorts of different engines. It is possible for the rocker to come off the top of the push rod. And if it does that, it's not going to operate the valve. You know, the push rod's still going to go up and down, but it's not going to be doing anything. That's why they call the rocker, because it rocks. You know, push rod comes up, it pushes down on your valve and opens it. Push rod goes down, releases the spring tension on that spring on your valve, and it goes boom, comes back up. So it is possible that something in the rocker broke, and that's happened. Either way, I think the only way I'm going to find out for definite is to actually take the engine out. Now, I will admit, it is something that I really did not want to do Thursday, but I find that with my autism, I can't speak for everyone with autism, but at least with mine, when something minor like this happens, because it is a relatively minor thing, isn't it? It's fixable, in theory. You know, I don't think it's done any, well, I'm actually 99% certain it's not done any serious damage to the engine, whatever's happened. But, you know, at the heat of the moment, my mind just goes into meltdown, basically. It's thinking the worst things, because when that first happened, I thought, oh God, my engine's totally seized, you know, it's totally effed up. I'm either going to have to get another engine or just get rid of the bike, you know. I was thinking the worst of everything. And I thought, God, that's going to cost me so much money in parts, because I thought maybe the cylinder head had got warped. So I think I may have to buy a new cylinder head and whatnot. I've got a feeling I was barking up the wrong tree with that one anyway. I'll tell you why in a minute. You know, and literally by Saturday I just had a shutdown. I feel bad for Kat over at The Adventures of a Norfolk Kitten, because she wanted to talk to me on FaceTime Saturday night. I just was not in any state of mind. When I go into an autistic shutdown, I don't want to talk to anybody. I avoid people. I'm not kidding. But anyway, the reason I don't think it's anything to do with the cylinder head, or as it was suggested that may have bent or be a bent conrod, is because, as suggested by a chap on the EABT group, he said take the spark plug out, so I did, and it turned over perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. I couldn't hear no knocks, bangs, clangs, squeaks, or groans or anything like that. That shouldn't have been there when it turned over. The only thing I noticed, is because I wanted to put my finger over the spark plug hole to see if I could feel any compression come back through the spark plug hole, but I was feeling air coming out of other places from, well, it was coming from sort of like top areas of the engine, which I thought was a bit weird. I thought that shouldn't be coming from that area. Which is why I'm leaning towards the valve theory. Either that, or it has jumped timing, so the valves are not in time. I'm pretty certain it's going to be one of those two. But like I said, if it's jumped timing, why? The only way I could think that it would do that is if the chain's knackered or the gear's knackered, or both. Which is not going to be a very fun job, because that means completely dismantling that engine. Because we could probably reset the timing, but there's a chance I'd do it again if the timing chain is too sloppy. But the bike has only done a little over 9,000 miles in 20 odd years. And it seems like, you know, not a lot in my opinion, but I don't know much about timing chains on motorbikes. I don't know what their average lifespan in miles is, or how difficult it would be to just change it. You know, do I have to actually split the bottom end? You know, do I have to split the transmission casing to do it, or could I like just work off the gear at the bottom and pull it up? Don't know. But if it is that, I'm not looking forward to it. I'd rather it be a valve, because that would be a piece of cake, all things considered. I was actually assuming it's got a timing chain. I've just thought of that. Because it only have a timing chain if it's got an overhead cam. But if it's got push rods and it's not going to have an overhead cam, that will be down the bottom, which means no timing chain. Yeah, either way, that engine's going to have to come out. And I can't do that here. So the plan is to load it into my stepdad's van and get it taken over to my mum's. At least we've got a workshop there and a front yard to work in and whatnot. I'd rather the workshop this time of year, because even though it's cold, I'll be dry. So I've got to try and plan when. Now, there's no point in us rushing to do it this week, because, well, my stepdad's usually busy during the week. Plus, I ain't going to have any money till next week to buy any parts anyway, so you know, there's no point in rushing it. Now, I did suggest next Sunday, but I was also thinking, as Cat over at the Norfolk, or the Adventures of a Norfolk Kitten, has got some timber for me to build my framework for the Lego City benches. I was thinking of going over Sunday to get that, drop that off here, and then we can pick the moped up at the same time as we're dropping off the timbers. That's what I'm thinking, but I've got to talk to Kat first, you know, check with her. Actually, speaking of my stepdad and van, we had a fun escapade, or fun adventures with that one day over the holiday period, because I went over there and we bought all the boards that I was going to use for the tops for the city benches. We bought all of those back, so we loaded them all onto the van. After having to jump start it with the jumper pack, because the battery was knackered. And of course, when he turned the van around, he shut the engine off and then the damn thing wouldn't start because the battery's knackered. You reckon a week before the holiday period started, he had to jump start it every day because that battery was that knackered. Once he'd driven around and gotten a little bit of charge in it, it was fine. But as soon as that sat overnight, that was it. It was dead by morning. So yeah, we'd done that. Went to jump start it again. The frickin' jump pack was dead. Tried to put some charge into it and try again. Nothing. Tried to bump start it down the hill, because Mum's Road is on a bit of a hill. It didn't want to know, so we got stuck at the bloody bottom at the junction, so we just sort of parked it up on the grass verge bit. Went and spoke to their neighbour. He couldn't find his jump leads in the garage, so we went to his son's to borrow a jump pack, which it was either dead or just not man enough, because it was actually smaller in size to my stepdad's one, so it might not have been man enough. You know, it might have been more for petrol engines rather than diesel, because diesels do, you know, need a lot of power. So yeah, we didn't give up though, because his neighbour actually went to his doors and got his other set of jump leads, so we jumped it from the car, not his neighbour's car because that's electric, so we had to use my mum and stepdad's car. And yeah, I don't seem to have much luck lately. Although I did have a good morning this morning, you know. My stepdad had some jobs to go and do some quotes for, flooring jobs, because that's what he does. And he asked if I just wanted to tag along with him this morning, so I did. Because in all honesty, I'm getting pissed off just sitting around here in the flat doing nothing. Apart from what I'm doing now, twiddling my thumbs off camera, that was it. You know. So I thought, why not? You know, I hadn't been out of the flat for a while, so go for a jolly jaunt round Norfolk. So I did. The first one we get to, she had a French Bulldog. That is a bloody fruitcake. And he come charging through into the lounge, this little bulldog. Completely bypassed my stepdad and just came straight to me. Then the second one we went to had a lovely lurcher, and then when we were sort of about to leave, I noticed the cat sitting up on the sofa, so I gave that a little cuddle as well. No pets at the third one, but the fourth one, we were there before the customer, and there was a cat on the driveway. It was friendly. It went and sat by the front door with us, and it kept looking between us and the doors, like it was saying, "Could you open the door for me, please?" No, it's not. We don't live here, Fluffbutt. That's your house. You've got to wait for your mama to come home. Turns out he was actually 17 years old. He looked bloody good for 17 years old. But then we found another cat inside. A little bit more timid. But I did get her to come to me. And the lady customer said she's quite surprised at that, because that cat apparently is quite timid. She runs away from people. So I said, it could be because she can smell my two on me. And I have read that if cats can smell a cat on a human, that seems to make them a bit more trusting of you, apparently. Well, considering I've managed to get cuddles with 4 cats today without any troubles, including a couple of them that were timid, because I always let them sniff my hands first. I don't go straight in for cuddles, you know. I just put my hand out slowly and let them come to me. And that's all I did. That's all you got to do. You know, I'm just not the type that wants to try and force a pet to come and have cuddles, you know. If it doesn't want to, it doesn't want to. If it does, great. Just wondering where my two was. Snowy must be on the bed then, because Smudge is over there. Right. I just need to take a break for 2 minutes. It'll be like 2 seconds for you guys. Be right back. Righty-ho. I am back. I'm going to put my phone on charge. I'm just going to need it. Alright. Quiet around the phone. There we go. Shall we have a look at some diecast? So, I think I'll start with the odd few that I got from the charity shop. So, I've got 3 over there that I got from Priscilla Bacon this afternoon, and 1 here that I got from the community shop. Saw this in their window. Holston Pilsner. But it wasn't until I got this home that I actually realised it's 00 gauge. It's 1/76 scale. Also a Mercedes truck. Yeah, it's 1/76 scale. It came in a little cardboard box, and I noticed when I got it home that it had model lorry 00 written on it, and then I sort of looked at this and I thought, yeah, that's 00 scale. Didn't really, well, as I didn't know it was for the for model railways, I didn't buy it for that, but I think I've actually got a use for this. Not on the layout anyway. I suppose it depends if I put a pub on it or not. Anyway, the other 3 I've got one of these. I'm not sure if I've got one with the red tipper body on it or not. I've got this Corgi Ferrari because I've not seen it in yellow. And got a model Land Rover. So that was quite nice. Now, I'm going to make my life a bit easier and just bring you guys a bit closer. There we go. I haven't got to reach as far. So, a little over a week ago, I won some auctions on the UK Diecast Sales Facebook group, being held by the same person that I got my green lights and Johnny Lightnings and whatnot from. So I've got a bit of a mix here. There's at least 1 here that I know I've already got, but I bought this one for a reason. Because it's better than the other one. Thought I saw something flash on my screen. Anyway, I know I put bids on... I think I put bids on more than this, but I didn't expect to win them all, and I wasn't really that fussed if I'd lost a couple, so... First one. And yes, I will be opening it. Volvo 240 from Matchbox. I'm probably going to pee off a lot of collectors right now. He says. But, it's always been my opinion, you know, that we collect in our own way. And I just wanted to open it. He had a few of these for sale. I don't know if he sold the rest. I may drop him a message and ask him. I've lost my magnifier again. I can't remember if this was Johnny Lightning or Green Light now. It was nice, I liked it, so I can't remember what it is, but I can't find the magnifying glass again. To have a look at the base. Ah! Scratch that. It's a Johnny Lightning. It doesn't actually say what it is. Is it an International? It don't look right to be a Jeep to me. Oh, hang on, what's it got on the tailgate? There's something written on it. Oh, you twat. It's a Ford Bronco. Duh. A big Ford on the bloody tailgate is a good giveaway. I don't know if you'd be able to see that on camera, but yeah. It's got Ford on the tailgate. Duh. Anyway, I need to put a bit of super glue on this one. Although I might actually leave it and repaint it. But I bought this custom Ford Cortina. I'm surprised he's been trying to sell some of this for a while. I'm surprised he hasn't, to be honest. One of the reasons I didn't put a bid in previous auctions that he held last year, that this was in, is because I thought some others were going to bid on this and, you know, it's going to be more than I was willing to pay, but nope. But yeah, the base is it's come unstuck. That's the downside to super gluing these. That's why a lot of you'll see a lot of restorers and whatnot will drill and tap the rivet post and then put a little screw in there. It holds a lot better. I've had the same problem when I've glued them. Right, I got a matchbox. I have no idea what that says on the side. Plumbing van. ABQ router. Plumbing, heating, cooling. Available and on call 24/7. Excellent, quick and efficient service. What's the van? I think that's a Ford. Yeah, a Ford panel van. With blue lights on the roof apparently. I don't think they're meant to be blue, but it's only because the windows are blue. That's part of the windows. I like the wheels on this. I quite like the van actually. I've got a few Matchbox. I've got this one. I can't remember what it is, but I have got this one. I've got it in blue as well. That's why I bought this one. I ain't got it in red. Well, I've got a blue one. I might as well have the other variation to go with it. It could even be more than this. What is it? A 33 Plymouth. Nice looking car actually. And I've got another one here. It's a truck. That's all I can tell you at the minute. It's a truck. What sort of truck are we looking at? It's a 32 Ford. That is nice though. I really do like that. And then somehow I managed to buy two majorette Mercedes, exactly the same. That was in miles better condition though. I think, well, I say exactly the same. If we look at the interiors, one's got black and one's got red. So there is that variation, but other than that, you know, it's got a number 30. It's got exactly the same tampo work, livery, whatever you want to call it. And because I'm a fan of these older majorettes, especially this one because it is older, and it is a BMW in a colour that I don't have, with the amber windows. Majorette liked using their amber windows with this particular era, which I quite like personally. What else we got? I've got a Mustang here, which is from Matchbox. It's an FYP 2.5 Ford Mustang convertible. In blue. We ain't got many more. Now this is the one I was saying earlier that I've already got. But this is in like 100 times better condition than my other one. That's why I got this one. It was for a decent, I think I paid like at least £1 for most of these. Apart from obviously the Johnny Lightning over there. Got quite a few matchboxes in this actually. Here's another one. What is it? I think it's a Nissan. Yeah, Nissan Prairie. I hadn't got it in that colour scheme. I think he had a couple of these. I think the other one was a little bit in worse condition than that one. And I got another Mustang, which I believe is Hot Wheels, but I've never seen one with these particular wheel rims. Hot Wheels. It's upside down. A little bit of light on the subject, shall we? Oh, there's the Hot Wheels logo. I was just trying to find it. It's actually quite small on this one. It's a GT500. Yeah, but on at least the regular Hot Wheels that you get, I've not seen rims like that one. I don't know if this is from a specific era or if this is like one of the treasure hunts or a collectible one. No idea. But I do like those rims. And I have no idea about this one. I just like the look of it. It's another Johnny Lightning. 57 Studebaker. I did wonder if it was. Right, and lastly, I've got 2 more lorries. I've got that one, which I think was just a couple of quid. And I like the fact it does that. You can tilt and slide it. Been looking for one of these for ages and I found quite a few. They're in rough shape, but this one was in good shape for the money. And again, just like the fire truck, we've got the steering wheels on there when you press on the amber beacons. And the other one I got, he had a few of these. I don't think they all sold. So I want to just ask him in the messages to see what else he might have. But we've got this Siku Mercedes dropside flatbed truck. You know, the big crane on it. Well, what I know is a high ab. I don't know what it would be called elsewhere, but I would call that a high ab. I thought it meant to have a trailer. Well, it's got the ability for a trailer anyway. Oh, we've still got the mirrors on. Have we got the mirrors on the cab? No, we've just got the brackets for the mirrors on the cab. It's a little bit play worn, but the hydraulics still hold position. It's still a nice little truck in my opinion. That's how that was packed though. Yeah, I might see if I could find the auctions. Obviously he turned comments off when the auctions end, but just to have a flick through to see what didn't get a bid on and see if he's still got it available, you know. If there's anything that interests me. But that is it for Diecast. I still got so much to bloody do around this flat, you know. All the diecast from the previous video is still down there on the floor. I still haven't found a home for it yet. In fairness though, most of those are corgis and I've got to go through my corgi shelf in the bedroom. But I want to have a good tidy up around this flat because I've just got clutter everywhere again. It's doing my head in. It looks worse than it actually is. But because it looks bad, I keep thinking mentally it's going to take me ages, but so I keep putting off, you know, I keep thinking I'll do it later. But the reality is, it's not going to take me long to do it now. If I just pulled my finger out and got on with it. Maybe I could actually... If I do get that wood from Cats at the weekend, I really should, because I'm going to need space up here to put it. Because obviously I'm going to need space up here to... well, I'm going to need the wood up here to build the framework. Which I've decided I'm just going to cut with my handsaw. That's sharp enough. I might have to see if my stepdad's got a couple of trestles or something that I could borrow, because that would make life a lot easier. There's a spare circular saw over there that I can borrow. It's going to need a new blade, but I don't mind buying a blade for it. Because that'd be easier to cut the boards to size. See if I can find one of the guides that go in the side as well, so I can get the cuts as straight as possible, because there's no way I'm going to get them straight with a bloody free-handing it. Well, I'm hungry. So I think I need to clear this desk. And then go and get something to eat. I'm actually really happy with that one, because it is in so much nicer condition than the other. My other one's white, it's got like a white substance all over it. I don't know what it is, it won't clean off. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased to have that one. Like I said, I think most of these were like £1 each. Apart from, like I said, the two Johnny Lightnings, which I'm obviously going to put in the box with all the other Johnny Lightnings and green lights and things. I've got quite into collecting things. I should have known that was a stewed baker, because I've just realised I've got a dinky version of it. So they actually have a metal base as well as a chassis, whereas a lot of Matchbox and Hot Wheels now have plastic. I saw, while on the subject of diecast, I saw on a post the other day comparing the undersides of Hot Wheels cars over the years. I can tell this is a relatively modern one, because there's very little detail on the base. You know, you look at older Hot Wheels and they've got all the exhaust and everything, they've got a lot more detail on the base. Modern ones, they just seem to be doing away with it. But that doesn't really bother me that much. Well, it does, because they're making the manufacturing easier and cheaper, but then they're not passing that saving on to the customer, are they? They're still like £2.50 a car. You know, I remember when these bloody things were 99p each. But yeah, the fact that not adding as much detail on a base, it doesn't bother me, just for the simple reason you look at that bit, you know, look at it that way up most of the time. And again, you know, these ones especially, they're aimed at kids. I don't think kids are going to give two monkeys. I never did. You know, I didn't care about the detail on the bottom. I just wanted to play with the toy car. And I would say that's how a lot of kids are, you know. They probably wouldn't even know what an exhaust is. Some might, but I think for the most part they don't. They're just going to want to play with it, and they're going to want to throw it around the bedroom and whatnot, and run it around their Hot Wheels track. You know. So yeah, I can see the logic there why they just decided perhaps it's not worth bothering with it anymore. But on a collectible model. I mean, this Matchbox one has got a fuel tank on the bottom there and a few other bits of detail on it, if I can get it in the light. But in fairness, even on this, is what, 1980s, 1990s this model, probably 1990s. It's still a bit, still looks a bit bland to me. Even now I don't really pay much attention to it. That was the only Hot Wheels I got in this, wasn't it? So I can't compare it to anything else. A Matchbox still like to do it. But on this Mustang you can even see the bottom of the transmission case. I mean, yeah, I do like the fact that they put detail on the bottom like that, but I'm not that fussed that it's missing off the Hot Wheels. Anywho, I'm going to end the video here, guys, because like I said, I'm getting hungry. So, thanks a lot for watching. If you like the video, as always, give it a like up, please, or give it a like up. I was thinking thumbs up, but wanted to say like, so it came out as like up. Hit the like button, or if you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. And if you're new and you want to see more random ass videos like this from a bit of free entertainment, subscribe, because it is free to do so. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.